Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the May 14th, 2025 Board of Supervisors meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 7 p.m. So we will have our usual moment of silence. I would just like to mention that we have had a loss in our family. The Board of Supervisors would like to extend our condolences to Detective Chris Bush and Amanda Pell, who works for our police department, for the loss of their mother and grandmother, Helga Bush. So if we could have a moment of silence, I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, that brings us to our first round of public comment. Please state your name and where you live. Anybody? Not today? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to reports of, in this case, board members, and I will start. The EAC last Thursday night had a seminar. We hired Audubon to talk about native trees and native plants. It was put on by the borough and the township together, and it was very successful, so kudos to them. I loved every minute of it, and I learned a lot of stuff. And that's pretty much it for me. How about you, Mr. Fisher? Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Oh.
I would just like to remind everyone that Memorial Day will be Monday the 26th. And that'll occur before our next meeting. So I just wanted to make sure we recognize those who gave the ultimate sacrifice.
Thank you.
All I have.
Anything else?
Not for me.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Calabro.
I have nothing to report.
Mr. Davis.
I do have a question. I saw we had a planning commission report in our packet. I don't see them here tonight. Were they not?
I think it's because I don't think there was anything for Peggy to be here for.
Gotcha.
No, we just updated, again, a billboard ordinance that has gone back and forth from the jointure a million times. So I think we finally got it right, and the Planning Commission sent it back.
We recommended approval.
Okay.
And there was someone that requested multiple variances and a special exception to build a single-family dwelling, and they were told to revise their plans and come back. So that was pretty much it.
All right. Thank you. I have nothing else.
Okay. Moving on to our consent agenda, which tonight only is approval of minutes and bills for minutes of April and bills for May 14th. If I could have a motion for the approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Any from the public? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
No.
Oh. Thank you. So motion passes 3-1 with one member not in attendance. Okay. There is no engineer's report tonight, so we'll move right along to our solicitor's report.
Thank you.
Mr. Schenkman?
Chairwoman, there are two matters for your consideration on the solicitor's report this evening. Number one would be the authorization of the Township Planner and Solicitor to draft an amendment to the ordinance of the Subdivision and Land Development Ordinance, I should say, to remove non-native trees from the acceptable list of trees that are currently on that list and that should be planted in the township. And if the board was of a mind, it would be a motion to authorize your solicitor and the township planner to draft an ordinance eliminating invasive species and otherwise update the tree list.
Thank you. I will make that motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion from the board? Any questions? I think it's pretty self-explanatory. We're just trying to do the right thing by updating our plant list to make sure that it is corresponding to all the creatures and birds that live around here, and not allow our builders to put in non-native species of trees anymore. Okay?
And my sense is that when the work is prepared, it'll come back before the board for
Correct.
consideration.
This
with
is
much
an
more detail.
authorization.
The trees going out, trees recommended to come in will be identified and for further discussion.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, any other questions from the board? From the public? Hearing none, I'll call the question to authorize the township planner to draft a new ordinance amending the subdivision and land development ordinance to remove non-native trees from the list of acceptable trees that may be planted in the township. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0, 4-0.
Very well. The second matter for your consideration is the request of residents Sarah and Richard Cable, who reside at 366 Wrights Road in Newtown, for an extension of zoning relief through August 4, 2025. And by way of background, these folks were granted the relief they sought from the zoning hearing board on August 4th, 2024. They had some personal problems. They weren't able to get to the work within the 6-month time frame required on those kinds of variances and relief from zoning hearing board. So they're asking for an extension, and by law, they're allowed to get extended up to 1 year, which would be the August 4th date.
Okay, do we have a motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, do we have a second? I'll second that. Any discussion from the board? Any from the public? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of the request of Sarah and Richard Cable for an extension, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0.
And that's all that we have on our report tonight. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Madam Chair. General fund balance this evening is $7,121,163. Plan expirations before the board with no action required. We have Chief Hearn this evening to give his monthly chief's report. Evening, Chief.
Good evening. April 2025 police report. We documented 2,326 calls for service, documented just over 20,000 miles in our patrol fleet. April was a busy month for arrests. We had 20 arrest clearances, 1 for aggravated assault, domestic related, 2 for theft, 7 narcotics violations, 1 fleeing and eluding police, 3 warrants, 2 were out of jurisdiction in New Jersey, 1 in Lower Makefield, 2 forgeries, 1 counterfeit, and 3 DUIs. In the month of April, there were 15 investigations referred to our detective division. We had 47 traffic crashes. We had 143 traffic citations issued and 168 warnings issued. We conducted 2 truck enforcement details, resulting in 16 inspections, 7 citations, 7 warnings, 3 vehicles placed out of service, and 2 vehicles were towed. Notable jobs for the month of April. April 13th, you see our police officers running through the township on Sycamore Street. We spotted a vehicle wanted in Northampton Township for counterfeiting. We apprehended 2 individuals after a foot pursuit with additional counterfeit bills within their possession. The vehicle that they were in was also determined to be stolen. We had a joint prosecution with Northampton Township for that arrest. Public service announcements, I do have a few. On 4/26, we had a DEA drug take-back. We collected 337 pounds of unwanted narcotics. Number 2, frauds are also continuing to increase. Please, if it's too good to be true, it probably is, particularly on the elderly, so advise your family and friends and neighbors. On May 17th, we have our classic cars, cops, and coffee event at Veterans Park from 8 a.m. to 11. On the same date, at Wrightstown, at the Grange Fair, we have our Wrightstown Community Day, which we'll be participating in. And we have the Bucks County Consortium Test, also May 17th at Council Rock South High School. May 19th, Police Memorial Service at St. Andrews at 7 p.m. That's for honoring 16 law enforcement officers from Bucks County who passed away in their performance of their duties for the years. And as you know, this is also National Police Week. And this week they're installing 345 names on the national wall honoring officers that killed in line of duty. 147 were from 2024. Finally, distracted driving law goes into effect June 5th. Put your cell phones down when you're driving a car. You can be stopped for a primary offense if you're driving a car on your cell phone or texting while driving or searching on the phone, even if you're in traffic. Or stop momentarily at a traffic signal. So I don't want to issue tickets. I would prefer the public put down your phones when you're driving the car. Thank you. Be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for the chief? Thank you, as usual, for the excellent work of you and the police force.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Chief. Madam Chair, we have one other item under the manager's report for the board's consideration. This is an administrative function. As you're aware, the arbitrator issued his decision and the ruling as it relates to the police contract. The contract itself has been amended with the language of the arbitrator's ruling. Therefore, the union has signed off on the language. Now it's up to the board to approve as well, so we can get this contract executed. The appropriate motion is approval of amended Police Benevolent Association contract with the Newtown Township Police.
Do we have that motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any discussion from the board?
Yeah, just one question. Can you just go over the arbitrator's decision?
I don't have that decision in front of me at this time. It included increases. It's a 6-year term, so it'll run through 2029, and it'll include certain fringe benefits that the union was asking for, including things like accreditation pay and certain other allowances.
But what did the arbitrator give the township?
They wanted additional health care coverages that weren't granted to the officers for post-retirement benefits. They wanted certain other pay increases that were not granted to the union.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess everyone else has read this and is well aware.
I have read it, yes.
Well, then tell me what the arbitrator did.
All I can say is I thought it was a fair contract. So
Well,
I can't
But
give
that
you
doesn't,
details.
that doesn't tell me anything. We're here to vote on something that, I don't know, no one's
Well, it
explained.
was sent to you on Friday, just like it was sent to all the other.
But no argument meant here. But if you said you read it, then why can't you tell us?
Well, it's pretty dense, and it's not something that I completely understand. And furthermore, I don't know where it came from last year. I just know that when I looked at it, I thought it was fair for what they asked for this contract. That's all I can say. I don't have any other detailed information that I can give you about it. That was my personal thoughts.
Kyle, did you read it?
I glanced over it.
Any,
I don't have it summarized myself.
it's fair?
Seems fair.
Okay.
Police department seemed happy.
Then we'll vote on the concept of fairness.
And on the, let me put myself on record that I paged through it. I did not read it word for word, but I did read through it. I have some experience with union contracts, being on the union side. I felt that this was negotiated in good faith. There were disagreements. When those disagreements could not be evened out, then the arbitrator process came in, and I thought that was followed correctly. So there's good faith bargaining. I don't like everything, but we got a couple of wins as well.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Any other comment from the board? I guess not. We went through everybody here. Okay. Any comment from the public? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of approval of the amended police contract, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes 4-0.
Thank you, Madam Chair. That's all we have under our report.
That brings us to our second round of public comment. I don't see anybody, so that brings us to other business. Is there any other business that any board member wants to discuss, or the public for that matter? Seeing none, at 7:18, I'll call this meeting adjourned.